Hey, what's up everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood French Canadian, and today we're going to look at more alleged Mortal Kombat leaks. Honestly, I'm just gonna come out and say it, it's getting a bit ridiculous at the volume of the leaks we're getting, you know? Everything is pretty much just copy-pasted, some things are changed, so they can try and play the legitimacy card any way they can. Ain't none of it true. You know, they'll add some random details that think they're going to fool people, and we're going to read word for word this leak because it's not very long. But before we start, like, don't get your hopes up, because all of these leaks that I cover are definitely false unless there's some good evidence, actual proof that they are real, right? But I thought it'd be funny, you know, it's the weekend, let's sit down and just read through this, laugh at it a bit, and then cry because some of us would like these characters to actually be in the game. So here it is. Mortal Kombat 11 DLC, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate DLC clarification. This alleged leaker opens up the leak by saying, every day there is a million new leaks. There are a million new leaks. Listen, I'm French, and I know that grammar is crap. I am going to set the record straight about the state of Mortal Kombat Ultimate. No, I will not be providing exact dates, but what I will provide is a list of characters, those being. So right off the bat, I love how they say, no, I will not be providing exact dates. Obviously, you will not be providing exact dates because you are talking straight out of your bum. Straight shot out of it. Now, I'm sorry for whatever image what I just said produced, but let's move on. So the characters they allegedly say are going to be in the game is Reptile, Smoke, Takeda, Serena, Ashra, Li Mei, Havoc. So those aren't characters we haven't heard of. They're the most mentioned ones, I think. You know, apart from like Li Mei and Ashra. I think those are mentioned a couple times, but for the most part, you know, this fan fiction hype list of DLC characters is missing, you know, Ermac and Quan Chi and maybe the more obscure 3D characters that no one gives a crap about, like Dagon and Taven. And this is exactly what it is, right? It's just a wish list of characters people want to see. It's not the actual truth, and I get it because some of those characters I really want to see as well make it into Mortal Kombat 11. Obviously Smoke and Takeda would be freaking awesome. But until we know for sure that NRS is working on a third combat pack, because oddly enough, Aftermath was not a combat pack, the second one being Melina, Rain, and Rambo, I literally almost forgot who the guest character was. So who would be the prestiged guest character in this combat pack? Well, let's continue and read, shall we? Micheal Meyers is done, but will not be shown off until after his game Halloween is shown off in August, with an expected release of October to coincide with his movie release, Halloween Kills, in October of 2021. See, the thing is, a lot of people are gonna say, well, Ed Boon deconfirmed Micheal Meyers being in the game because of that whole charade he pulled off with us, like giving us clues and stuff, and he specifically replied to a post saying that Micheal Meyers was not the character he was talking about. But he was not talking about Micheal Meyers for that specific clue. So could he still be in the game? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is that the guest characters in this game so far have all been 80s, 90s action heroes, you know, except the Joker, which got in because DC, right? Now, let's move on to the next line. Now, the alleged leaker says, Ash Williams is another character that is a possibility, but contract disputes are making it difficult to lock down a definitive deal with MGM and Bruce Campbell. And that's all I have to say about that. We've heard enough of this quote-unquote contract dispute. And he goes on to say, due to a fan demand, Cyrax and Sektor are considered as part of a free update that would release around the Mortal Kombat Celebration event in April, coinciding with the film release. Now this I could get behind. This is an idea that tickles my fancy. This is something that a lot of people want and have speculated because data miners have found things in the game, a gear belonging to Sektor, if I'm not mistaken. But that's because we fight, you know, a second version of a Sektor in the game, so it could just be the reskin color. But because Ed Boon again said in an interview, and y'all know everyone hang on his every single word, that there will not be any characters with full movesets that we fight in story mode that will not make it into the game. But we fight the robots and they haven't made it in the game. So does that mean that they will come later as free DLC? Well, I hope so, because if they expect us to pay for characters that were in the story mode that we could fight and that have movesets.
Fuck you, asshole.
Fuck you, asshole.
I might be counting my chickens before they hatch here, but I think that would be a strong possibility because of the evidence we have, because of Ed Boon's own words. Now, could it be that things changed and they were supposed to be in the game, but now they aren't? Of course, things change all the time in the gaming industry, as we've seen with Cyberpunk 2077, supposed to be an RPG, but turning out to be a first-person looter shooter with wacky-ass shadows. But anyways, I digress. Let's move on. So this alleged leaker, insider, shit talker goes on to say, Deathstroke will not be coming to the game due to poor sales from Joker and Spawn, as Joker was the least selling character in the history of guests, with Freddy and Jason being the best selling. Now, I'm not going to speculate on how the DLC sold, how a single character sold and things like that, because we do not have that information at hand, at least not to my knowledge from the research I did. But I'm still going to put a big freaking cap on that statement, because there is no way that Joker and Spawn did not sell well. Especially Spawn, he was so freaking hyped up, so there is no way that the sell figures for Spawn are low, as this person claims. Alright, now this last part of this alleged leak talk about the stages. And we're going to go through it quickly because I have one thing that can prove this claim is false right off the bat. So the alleged leaker goes on to say, the stages that are currently on development or are done are the Pit 2, Subway Platform, Pyramid of Argus, Shang Tsung's Throne Room. Now, first of all, 2 of these stages technically are in a retrocade, so why would they put them in retrocade and then redo them in the game? I really don't see that happening. I don't know, at this point it's like all these fake leakers are just throwing out the randomest freaking stages. They're just like googling Mortal Kombat stages and then just picking like a couple out of them, or 4 in this case. So yeah, definitely false. This person finishes with, there is no second story mode planned, crypt expansion, or new currency, as those were moved over to the next Mortal Kombat game, set to release sometime in 2025, 2026. Now this person first said, y'all remember, right? Y'all clearly remember that they said I cannot give specific dates for any of the DLC characters or anything else, and yet, oddly enough, they've given us a release date for Micheal Meyers in October 2021, and then is telling us that the next Mortal Kombat game, MK12, will release in 2025 and 2026. Now, I obviously am not a detective. I do not have a badge, but you don't need a badge to detect high-class lie that stinks of horseshit. So good try, buddy. Good try. But here on this channel, we don't have badges, but we detect horseshit from miles away. So that is the end of this leak, people. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really love talking about this because I can get really into it. I can get super comical because we all know it's a big stinking pile of bullcrap. It takes the edge off, you know? So join me next time for when we detect more bullshit. Anyways, everyone, have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all very soon.